Hi guys, Adam here as per usual. How are you all doing? As you can see from the opening little sort of video alone, I've been getting some new gear. Alright guys, so first of all, before we have a look at the gear, I just wanted to apologise about last week. I got the video up great on time on Monday, but then after that you had no videos, so no gear videos and no lessons. So hopefully this week and the weeks going forward are going to make up for that. There was a reason for it, so I got my new computer, which we're going to talk a little bit about in the video as well. And the original plan was to send it to a good mate of mine, Lee. He was going to put it all together for me and send it back up. But the logistics of such were just going to be too expensive. Nigh on undoable, really. It was adding sort of crazy money to the price to ship all of that there and back. So we're going to have a quick look at it. I actually then built it myself with a little bit of help from Lee on the phone and on Facebook Messenger, but we'll have a look at that. I've been getting plenty of new gear over the sort of past week to 10 days or so since I've sort of last seen you, really. So what I wanted to do was introduce all that new gear in this video because it's going to give you an idea about the kind of gear going forward. So first of all, this is it. Ibanez RG7221, I believe. It's part of that GEO series, so it's you know, the lower end Ibanez stuff, but my god, for the money it plays awesome. I got this at a really great price from a friend of mine. Dog's getting a bit excited. I got this at a really great price from a friend of mine, Grant. So Grant, if you're watching, thanks mate, I really like it. It's going to my mate Ross, who's going to give it a really good setup for me, and then I'll experiment a bit more with it and then change the pickups. I think probably Crunch Lab 7 in there. Neck pickup, I don't use the neck pickup all that often at the moment, other than sort of the occasional run, a little bit of sweep pick and legato, that kind of thing. But the 7 string is not going to really be for that. It's going to be sort of chunky rhythm guitar, and it might come in useful in the band as well. I've been thinking about getting into 7 strings for a couple of years really, but especially over the last sort of 6 months or so, since maybe Christmas time. I was thinking, right, Skypaint is all written and you know it's getting recorded well. I want to do something else. I'm thinking about expanding into 7 strings. So I thought I don't want to go out and spend crazy money on a 7 string. Also haven't got crazy money in case I didn't like it, so I wanted to get something that was sort of cheap but good and reliable enough and good enough to use for recording and with the band if necessary. So read a few of this, and then Grant said he was selling one, so really pleased with it. Very simple. I'm going to give it a kind of rewire, put new pickups in it, just pickups to my choice really. We'll be seeing plenty more of the 7221 in future videos, I'm sure. It's like a brand new instrument. I kind of thought, yeah, it's going to be a little bit tricky at first, you know, putting that extra string on the bottom might get in the way a little bit, but my god, it's actually like a completely brand new instrument. It's it really is. Sounds really cliched, all the 7 and 8 string players say that, but it really is like a brand new instrument. So also going with what you heard in the intro there, that wasn't coming through the amp, that was coming through Guitar Rig 5, and even more so the Ramfire sort of amp simulation that's in there, which is based on Richard Crusp's it's using Messer, I can't remember, but it's based on Richard Crusp of Rammstein's amps. And that all came with this latest software purchase, Komplete 10. So I've harped on about getting Komplete since about probably version 6 or version 7, I think. And eventually I've just bit the bullet and sort of went for it. They've got it on sale at the minute for less than 400 quid, which is absolutely crazy. I was really close to buying Contact because it's about time I owned Contact and I wanted the full version of Contact 5, and then for like 50 quid more you could get Komplete 10. Literally, it's unbelievable, and you get full version of Guitar Rig 5, lots and lots of software. I'm talking nearly 100 gigabytes of software and a couple of decent plugins as well. Lots of really great synths, so I might show you videos kind of like delving into Komplete as I sort of get round to doing that. Sticking with the software front, also been buying Harrison Mixbus 3, so I don't think I've really done a video about it, but I bought Mixbus 2 around about 3 or 4 months ago, maybe something like that, but haven't done any videos on it. I don't think I've mentioned it at all. Really great piece of software, kind of now a fully fledged sort of DAW in its own right, with Ardour 4 based, with Ardour 4 sort of DAW and sequencer in there with it as well. But what you really get it for is the sound of the mixing console. They've designed the digital mixing desk to sound like their own analog Harrison mixing desks. So we may look at that in future videos as well as I get round to it. It's not going to be useful for every song, but it gets some really great sounds out of it, and got that at a steal at the upgrade price, so I thought, why not, you know? Onto the computer. Yeah, so I put the computer together myself. We'll go through that in more detail sort of in future videos. I'm going to do a video just on the computer, the final specs I decided on, might show you inside, etc., because I know a lot of you guys are into your computers, and I didn't do too bad a wiring job, to be totally honest. For my first ever go building the computer, it went really well. The only thing I did wrong, I put it all together, spent about 3 or 4 evenings after work doing it, so realistically probably spent 6 or 7 hours doing it, which is, I think, probably a reasonable time. Lee said he could put it together in a couple of hours for me. He's really experienced at doing that, so the first time I've done it probably took 6 or 7 hours, which was pretty good. Pretty good going. I plugged it in, everything worked, and then I got a message up saying the graphics card's not working on this display. So I was like, Then I had a look, I hadn't plugged the graphics card in. So that's the only thing I'd done wrong. I hadn't put a cable, what do you call them, like Molex cables or something, I still deny the terms, but I hadn't put a power cable from the PSU, from the power supply, into the graphics card. Did that, boom, jobs are good and up and running, unbelievable beast. So over the last week to 10 days, I've been installing bloody software like God knows what. There's been a lot of installing to do, but we'll talk about the specs of the computer, etc. in the near future. I've been buying some more sort of VST plugins, etc. as well, so I might do another full studio sort of rundown. The final piece I've been buying, and I'll go to a sort of cutaway, I got this on eBay to steal, the M-Audio Tampa Mic Pre. It's something that's kind of been on my radar for a while, probably a couple of years on and off my radar. Keep an eye on eBay. If I see one, have a cheeky bid if I can get it at the right price. Never managed to get one at a sensible price. This one I got at an absolute steal, to be totally honest with you. I mean, you're talking about these units were probably minimum 600 quid when they first came out. It's a solid state mic pre with built-in compressor. This is what you're hearing now, so it's definitely kind of a marked difference in quality over the just kind of the Tascam ones that I have built into the interface. Tascam ones are not at all bad. They're pretty clean, pretty crisp and pretty transparent, but the Tampa's just kind of the next level on that. I'm looking at really expanding the studio stuff going forward. So now that the guitar rig is pretty much completely put together, he says, is our guitar rigs ever completely done? I'm looking at expanding the studio stuff. So as well as that, I'll do a quick cutaway of the studio in itself, because I've reorganised the room, spent all sort of Sunday afternoon doing that, spent about 5-6 hours tidying up, gutting all the inessential stuff out, and just kind of rewiring it and getting it all sort of neat and tidy and ready for the new recording endeavour. So that's it, guys. Plenty of new gear. Have any of you had any new gear recently? Post below. Let me know what you think of all my purchases. Any fans of Complete 10? Honestly, this is phenomenal. Industry standard synths and sampled instruments here for less than £400 for 100 gig of material. There's about 4 or 5 different pianos, several different synths, including my all-time probably favourite Absinthe. I had Absinthe 3 a long time ago. I've now got Absinthe 5 with this, and it's getting back to grips with it because I haven't used it for a long time. One of my favourite all-time synths. Anyone else got an RG7221 as well, or any other lower-end Ibanez? I'm getting back into my Ibanezes at the moment. A lot of you guys probably don't picture me as a 7-string player, but guess that's all about to change. So, hope you enjoyed this quick catch-up on this Gear Wednesday. See you on Friday when I've got some more lessons in store for you. And over the next couple of weeks, as well as Mondays when I'm answering your questions, we're going to be taking a look at all this gear in a lot more sort of detail on the Gear Wednesdays. Happy to be back, guys. Take it easy.